The night was quiet on the wide open plains, the stars stretching endlessly across, the sky like tiny lanterns lighting a forgotten world. A soft wind carried with it the scent of sage and dust, the kind of smell that only comes from a land that has seen both struggle and survival. The rancher, a man hardened by years of work, knew that silence like this often carried secrets, but nothing could have prepared him for the words that fell from her lips that evening. "It's too late for me." She was standing by the corral, her hands trembling as she held on to the old wooden rails. Her eyes, tired yet hauntingly beautiful, told a story of battles no one else could see. The rancher had seen storms break fences, floods ruin crops, and wild horses tear through the open land, but the storm inside her was unlike anything he had ever witnessed. For a long moment he froze, staring into her gaze, unable to move, unable to breathe. There had always been something different about her. She wasn't born on the ranch, nor was she raised to live the rough life of cattle and dust. She came into his life by accident, arriving on a bus that didn't usually stop in town. The first time he saw her, she looked lost but determined, like someone who had run far enough to know she couldn't turn back. Over time, she worked her way into the rhythms of the ranch, helping with the horses, learning the land, and even finding comfort in the sunrise that painted the hills golden every morning. Yet behind every smile, the rancher sensed an unspoken weight. That night, when she whispered those words, he realized that the walls she had built around herself were finally beginning to crack. He didn't speak right away, afraid that the wrong word might push her further into the shadows she was trying to escape. Instead, he let the silence linger, the kind of silence that forces two souls to see each other completely. Her voice shook as she went on, each word like a confession she had been too afraid to share. She spoke of a past filled with scars, mistakes, and losses she believed could never be forgiven. She told him about running from people who hurt her, from choices that haunted her every day, from a life that had convinced her she was beyond saving. "You don't understand," she said, her eyes glistening under the pale light of the moon. "People like me, we don't get second chances." The rancher's chest tightened. He knew what it meant to carry burdens, though his were different. He had lost his family land once to debt, only to claw it back through years of sweat and sacrifice. He had buried loved ones, watched neighbors walk away from everything they built, and lived through the loneliness that the prairie sometimes forces on a man. But looking at her, he realized that the battles she fought weren't against droughts or debts. They were against herself. He wanted to tell her that she was wrong, that second chances were real, that healing was possible even for the most broken of